And what is going on, guys? Welcome to Live Series let's say the episode number 5 here on Lawfolds. Yes, good to see you guys in chat. Welcome today. I just want to try to get back to where I was yesterday before the ugly, ugly game crash. If you're curious of what that is, just go back and check episode number 4. Fast forward to the end, and you'll see the great debacle that was yesterday's attempt at trying to get some fertilizer, which I don't know if that's what actually did it, but to say the least, that it completely killed my game. So, welcome to everybody. What's up, Shane, Jonathan, Tractor Guy? Tractor Man. You were in here. Patrick, what's up? I saw a few others. Tavin, I know you got school, so that's cool, man. I know it's on a little bit later than normal. No problem. Yes, Mario, if you watched yesterday's, man, I was like, wow. Mario called it to a T. Was like, hey, mine froze this morning. You might want to save. 2 hours goes by. The proverbial nuclear bomb goes off in farmland over here. But I kept my cool on stream. I was a little beside myself, which actually today it took everything I could to go back and do this again. But one thing good came out of it, and I'll get into that. So let me answer just a couple of questions because I saw a few things. I'm actually going to go ahead and start. I kind of was almost ready to finish up this field, and I didn't quite get it done. So I'll go ahead and send this guy. Just a couple of things. Yes, Shane does let me know that his froze. Let's actually we'll get a little chat in here. Yeah, there we go. And we'll just while we're scrolling along here, let me see if I can pull the transparency there so it's not quite so dark. All right, yeah, let's try that. It's just for guys watching later, at least while we're just riding around here in the harvester. I guess we're riding shotgun over there with the worker. Yes, so a few questions here we got in chat. So Shane, no, there's absolutely no news on game freezing. This has been widely reported on the modded maps. I don't believe that I've ever had this happen in the 2 vanilla maps that came in the game. I can only imagine there's something to deal with just it being such a big size and the way that it's actually loaded in. I have no idea, but that's my only guess. And then let's see who else. Someone did. Okay, Patrick. Yeah. Quick question: what's the best tractors to use for drawing in silage? Now, I'm curious as to what you mean by drawing in silage. I assume you mean the forage harvesters. If I'm not correct in that, let me know. That's my assumption is that that's what you're talking about. If it's not, let me know. Hey, well, happy early birthday, David. What's going on? Good to see you. What's up, KTM? Ben, hello. I'm glad you got such a big kick out of that Mario. Love to tell you this, I will not be making that mistake today. Buddy Rowe here is going to be saving his game. That's all I can say. Yep, that's what you're talking about. Alright, so there's about 2 or 3 different ways to do silage, at least if you're on console. Now, if you're on, I will say this, if you are on PC, there are many more ways, and I should have emptied this. I'm not sure if Greg's watching or not, but I actually took his. I don't think he's on yet. I think he gets off work a little bit later. So yeah, if you're looking for carting silage, and I said what you said, I said harvester. So let's go look at forage harvesters. So there's the one thing about this you got to think. If you're going to, it depends on what kind of silage you want to do. If you want to do corn chopping. If you want to do these easy flow, these are the ones that pick up grass. These are the ones that pick up your chaff out of the field. These 4 right here, from the Rostamash all the way over to the Krone, all 4 of these cut the grass or they cut the field. I mean, they'll cut anything. They'll cut, you can look there in the middle, wheat, barley, canola, soy, and grass. They'll cut all 4 of those and turn them all into chaff. Okay, so you're on PS4. Okay. So all four of those actually cut and create silage as well, and then you've got the cutters. Now these are all corn choppers. So it just cuts the corn down and it chops it up and creates the, what is the proverbial chaff that's going to go into your bins for silage. Um, I don't really know that I have a favorite, but I will say this: in this game, silage is not nearly as valuable. So I always tend to go with the thing that's going to give me the biggest bang for the buck. When it comes to the harvesters, now I have not loaded it in because I typically, when I'm doing some of this stuff, I'm by myself and I don't have multiple people pulling trailers around me. These three items right here all are able to hook dollies and the big trailers behind them. So something to keep in mind: if you get the modded Crone, it only will allow you to connect the little small bull trailer. Now you can extend that up to 50. I mean, there's tons of videos that have that same, oh, I've got a silage train of 75 carts. If you can hook them up, it'll have it. But now, if you're doing it by yourself, I would stick with one of these three. All of them have plenty of horsepower to pull all of it. My actual favorite is the New Holland. I like the Chrome because it's got some colors of the FTG kind of rolled in there, but still I do like the FR850. That's probably one of my more favorite ones. I like the way it sounds, the way it starts up, but it's pretty strong and it pulls all trailers. You can throw just kind of, I hope I'm answering the question. Throw either one of these dollies on it, put these dollies on it, and then you can go back over your tippers and you can put any of these. You can put, all these will connect to it. You can put the Flegel up with the dolly, you can put the Crampy up with the dolly, and then you can switch it with a car. I mean, not a car, but a semi truck, and pull that down to your bin. So either one of those can work, and is definitely probably what I would choose. Other than that, you're going to be cutting grass and doing it the hard way. So some of it's preference of how hard you want to work, but I typically tend to kind of go with what's going to give you the widest working width, and I'll stick with that. I hope that answered your question. And if you're, as it goes with anything else after that, is actually taking it to there, you just want a tractor big enough that's going to be able to pull, it's going to be able to pull the silage, that's going to be able to pull it down. So, what's going on, Ben? I think we are all good. Good to see. Got a lot of fresh faces and fresh names in here, and some old school favorites. So appreciate you guys, you stopping in. Yeah, no problem, man. Hey, if anybody else got questions or want to throw some suggestions in and around some stuff, please feel free to. No question is a dumb question, because I can tell you right now, I have probably asked those questions myself, or I have gone searching for the perfect proverbial YouTube video to get my fix on whatever the question was. They don't do a very good job of explaining this stuff, and if you're not up on all your how it works on a real farm, then yeah, sometimes you get left out. And then KTM, has your harvest going until we finished our harvest last night in real life? Yeah, mine went great last night until my game crashed. That's it's the little bit of the joke in the room. Need to go empty this trailer. Just say, I don't know how many of you guys are really into this map. I feel like 27 is at least for me harvesting and cultivating, and I'm still not done on the seeding part. Cultivating, seeding, and harvesting that field took me at least, I know I worked on it about I guess I worked maybe 2.5 hours. So it's by far 26. Doing all four, getting it replanted and reseeded, and fertilized once at least, is at least a 3-hour field, and that's going pretty strong on it. And let's see, James, is there a new sawmill in the game? Is it true? Have no idea. Has there a built-in weight in the front of the case tractor? The old case, yes. That's what that is in the very beginning. I mean, that old red case. That is a front weight. It's like a disc weight. Like, think of it like weightlifters, and they put the weights on the bars. Except this is one bar in the middle, and they stack all those weights inside, and you can change and switch those out. It's definitely a more old school. There's some in the Mod Hub I saw. I don't know if they'll ever make it on console, but I did see that. Nice, KTM. Yeah, we got a few guys in here that actually do this in real life, so it's always cool to get their perspective sometimes on things that they got going on. I know Greg. I don't think he's in yet, but Greg was telling me last night. He's actually from the same area I am, in North Carolina, and he'd come in and said that there was they do a lot of auger wagons and semis on the side of the field. So I figured, well, heck, I'll do the same thing. So I've actually done it today, and it's actually been pretty decent. It's going pretty well. I do like this big Bergman. I was about to buy the smaller one, and I was like, nah, I've got enough money to buy the other. Let's see here. Hey, what's going on, Carolina? Let's see. Let's go and get this guy going again. You'll find out if you're, fairly new to watching my streams. I don't really do a ton of things. We'll just call them. I don't do a ton by hand. Oh, I'm gonna need to go fill this back up with seed. Did figure out as well. I did a test, and I'm gonna report these findings throughout the evening. But I did do a small test, and I figured out this map uses seeds way faster than any other map. So most maps seem to be the fertilizer and seed went down at about the same rate. The seed sometimes always seems like it goes away a little faster. But now I try these out on the vanilla maps. This map, the seed goes away very fast. So most of these fields are going to take a refill of your seeder, and this is the biggest one in forms of capacity. I know me and a couple of guys had discussion yesterday, 2 days ago, on whether or not the Pronto would be a good addition to the farm, just because it does all three: cultivate, seeds, and fertilizes all in one pass. And they said, I tested that out, and I was doing field 32, and it ran out before the field was even done. So smaller work width than what I've got here on the Amazon. So yeah, it'll work if you're doing the smaller ones. So if you're doing much smaller fields than 32, maybe the 29, 30, 31, 34, those kind of smaller fields, and maybe it might service for that. But if you've got the money to go in and get the big stuff, I think it's just about as well off as you do. It's funny. Not yours, James. I was laughing at Carolina as he fell asleep in the middle of the stream. That was funny the other night. I was talking to Chuck. Chuck said the same thing. He's like, man, I'm just going to have to get off, man, because I fell asleep cultivating the field. And yeah, it sucks about your truck radiator. But it's a good thing you got it fixed. Seeds cost quite a bit. You'll see as I pull in 3,000 pounds. It should, if I bought 3 pallets, that'd be what, 2,700 bucks? Is that right? Yes. So it should be 2,700 bucks for 3, which is what I'm going to be receiving is 3,000. They're 1,000 each. And you'll see how much price it is. So it should be 2,700 bucks, and the price is. Oh, is it not going? There you go. So $4,000 for seed if you buy it out of those grains. I'd always said that it's more expensive, and now I've proved that. So if you have if you want to go get seeds, you're gonna have to constantly go get them. I tried, and I failed miserably at it. Because you would literally need someone to constantly run back and forth on the farm on this map to go get to go get seeds on a trailer every single time you pulled this thing out. Um, and I can, and I hire workers. I don't do any of this stuff on my own. I can't stand driving this stuff, but I don't mind the management side. That's always my thing. I enjoy that. Just getting as many workers going and trying to make it all work smoothly, get things transferred off and get things put in silos, get things sold, and not miss a beat. Doesn't always happen, but that's always a little challenge. Um, what's going on, Baller? Yeah, I mean, hang around, watch a little bit. If you like it, go grab it. If you don't, and you think it's stupid, then you know, no pressure to buy. But I thought it was stupid when I first bought it, and look at me now. I was in FS15, so I got hooked on the logging, and from then on, it was it was all on from there. I think this game has the tendency to do that to people. They kind of think it's stupid and they laugh about it, because that's certainly what I did. I razzed the guy that had told me about this game. I was like, man, you got to be kidding. And it's fun, man. It's relaxing. It's a different breed of game altogether. So I'm gonna make sure that I got. Yeah, so canola is going down. So I kind of screwed up a little bit earlier on trying to seed this field, so I'm going to have to kind of do a little bit of patchwork seeding, fill in the blanks here. And let's see, Grant, were there any new mods today? No. The only mods were an update. This was yesterday. The only mods were an update to Lawfolds and was an update to the fences. I don't even know what the update was. I'm not even going to download those fences because, for console, it's just pointless for us to use fences like that. I mean, that's a... Oh, yes, there was. Will he still work? Yes, he will. Awesome. So there's a new placeable. This was one of my favorites. I saw this in one of the maps, and there it is. So the vehicle shelter. So this is just another awning for us to be able to use, but it is a kind of a cool one, and it's it's an actual legit vehicle awning, and it's multi-use. Definitely probably in the older, but you can tell it's got the old tin roof and the old kind of the red steel I-beams and the concrete blocks or the concrete footers. So yeah, so it's definitely okay. Now it looks like it's got this kind of a paint or paneling in the middle. I know it's illuminating green, but once you put it down, it's like clear, and it looks pretty good. So I like these things. I like anything, but I really can't use them on this map. It's really kind of tough. Yeah, nah. Tractor Man. You're right, man. There's nothing to really use those for. It's kind of pointless for us. I mean, especially in this map, you've got fences around everything, and I just don't. I wish there wasn't so many collision zones and fences and hedges and stuff in this map, but I get it. I don't begrudge them for putting them in there. It does add for a certain amount of the realism of the game, because you never would really just drive straight over your a boss's hedges if you were working at another farm, just to say, oh, well, my tractor can go over the hedge, so therefore I can. That would never happen. So I mean, it's it's one of those. It's fine. I kind of enjoy the extra challenge of having to figure out how to work fields and do things. Now, like I said, I kind of screwed this up earlier. All this would have been planted and not. Obviously, we don't have any kind of crop destruction, so you can't really do that. Let's get this bad boy going again. Yeah, I could see separating some fields, and then again, I would still be in that camp of. Let's see, what's my wool doing over there? Okay, I got a couple over there. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, so yesterday in episode 4, if anybody's caught up on that, if you watch it, fine. I'm just just going on something I did yesterday because I wanted to explain a few things because I've got some actual new equipment. I know some guys may say, well, hey, how'd you get that new equipment? I was actually buying a loading wagon yesterday, and just because I'm going to save my game. So yesterday I ran into was actually buying some things. So I'd wind up buying the Pronto. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yes. So I'd wind up buying the Pronto DC9. And this is 5,000. It's like 2,000 seed and 3,000 fertilizer. It's not 5,000 just seed. It's like the totality of it. This one is 9,000, but I think it's 4 and 5. This one is 5,800 seed all the way. So this is an option if you want to have a bigger barrel of seed. Now the Condor, the Amazon, has 8,000, and as you saw, it's 5,000 fertilizer and 3,000 seed. I chose for the fertilizer because you get more. So just to kind of, I never bought that one after my game crashed yesterday. I came back into it today and said, you know what, I'm just going to kind of like chill on that because I don't really want that. It was kind of good it crashed because it reset a lot of that stuff. I actually went to buy this wagon and realized on the back side of the farm I'd already bought it before. Yeah, you're right, tractor. It doesn't plant corn. Unfortunately, the only one that plants corn is this one, the Optima 5. And there's one more before you get to it. Yes, the Tempo F8 does corn, and then the Maestro 12 SW does corn and fertilizer. But anything after that does not plant corn, unfortunately. So if you're going to be a corn farmer, you're going to have to settle with the smaller Maestro. I'm not sure if they make bigger seeders that do corn. If the 9 meters about the industry limit, I have no idea on that. So. So it's but anyway, I got the loading wagon. I already had it, so I've already pulled some things. And instead of buying the loading wagon like I did yesterday in yesterday's stream, after the game crashed, I went ahead and decided to put that money that I used for the Pronto since it crashed. I got all that back. After it crashed, I went ahead and put in money into the sheep. So I bought about 40 more sheep. So now I'm up in the 70s. They're producing wool a little bit faster, so I'll use that to buy anything else I want, including anything going forward, like any of my new stuff. Say harvesters, headers, tipper trailers, because eventually I'm probably going to go get the Crampies. I don't really want to. I really like the old Flegels, but yeah, I'll probably go and buy those at some point. So, but that'll, between doing the wool and that, I'll get my cows started to get all my animal stuff bought, a couple new tractors with front loaders, maybe a couple tellies. So I pretty much used the money mod for anybody that's kind of new into how I've gotten and acquired all this big stuff. I use the money mod to get myself to this point, and then after that, it's gonna go away. So, just if anybody was curious. Let me catch up just a little bit on chat here. I know you guys were chatting away here. If this chat box here is bothering you guys, just let me know. I just actually finally got it working. So I know sometimes people don't get to see chat on there, so I may just pull it in and out here and there. Let me catch up here. You can plant corn or sunflower. Yes. Till, did you buy it with a disc? Did you buy it with a disc? I don't know what you mean. No, this is yes, this is off PlayStation Store. Yes, I didn't buy the disc version of this, and this is the premium with season pass. So whenever we get season pass, if you haven't bought it and you want to see what we get, then come on and stop by the channel, and we'll be doing some releases on whatever we figure out what the heck we're getting. Alright, let's see. I need to empty this. I've been nope, it's good. Alright, let's see. So let's do this. I really enjoyed this this harvest. I really didn't like the cases first. if you go in straight capacity, I just wanted to go with something new that I didn't use a lot in 15. And I actually spent a lot of my time in that same New Holland, you know, CR, that 1090 that a lot of us stayed in. And I never really got into the case harvesters, or in this game any of the other ones as well. But since the fields were so large, I wanted to go with the 45-foot header. So that's why I stuck in with this one. But I have thoroughly enjoyed messing around with this harvester. It's a good one. Capacity's still fair on it. It's about 2,000 less than the New Holland. It's pretty quick outside of using it. Plus, it's got the trailer already on the header. So, good stuff. Get the New Holland combine. Yeah, I know. I just spent so much time in 15 with it. That's like I said, I never did anything. Plus, be honest with you, if I could throw on the front twin wheels to match the Case Magnum tractor I got on the farm here, then yeah, I would have bought the New Holland. It wouldn't have bothered me. Well, we were, you know, you didn't really get an option to buy a season pass. Uh-oh. I didn't get an option to buy a season pass on, you know, when this first came out with 15 is when I first bought it. So I never got that option. And then I wound up buying a lot of the DLC and figured out how much money I'd spent on a lot of that DLC. I mean, some of that stuff, like the Homer pack, was $10. JCB pack was like $7. The New Holland, I mean, all this stuff is stuff we have free in 17 now, but still, that was a big chunk of change. So I figured, well, heck, for $25, I mean, I could have purchased all this DLC and saved myself some money. So that's why I went ahead and got Season Pass. Plus, I figured if I was going to do the YouTube thing and keep it up and going and up to date, then I figured I needed to be, at least for the PS4, at least for whoever was watching and whoever was following the channel, I needed to have it so that I could do some reviews on that stuff. So you guys can make decisions on whether or not it's going to be worth it for you to buy that stuff, especially coming from a console perspective. Because I know sometimes DLC comes out or something comes out that's really great for PC. It's something that they can extend completely because somebody mods some hugely great mod with it. And then we get it and we're like, it kind of sucks. We already had this before. Had I had a channel to really follow, I probably wouldn't have bought half of what I did in 15. So that's kind of why I went out and bought premium. I wouldn't have bought it had it not been for this. I'd have just waited and see what they did, because at least right now you can still buy it. I would just about guarantee at some point they'll pull the premium off, so people won't buy it just to get the DLC for cheaper. But that's just a speculation. I don't know that they're going to do that. It's just, you don't know. You're not going to get any warning with anything that happens with Giants. That's the thing I have learned over the past couple of weeks. Trying to figure out mods and when stuff's coming out, and figure out when people are doing stuff and when maps are coming out, and well, when are you going to update this and update that? It's very, very frustrating. They are not a very good communication company, which is a shame, because they've got a good product. Got a good product. Get the T7, I guess you're talking about the heavy duty, the blue, for the baler. I like using it. Yes, it is good. The JCB DLC is built into this game now. Yes, it is. Homer pack's in here. The New Holland pack is in here. The Rostelmash pack is in there. A lot of the stuff that we got in the Gold Edition, including Sosnovka. So I don't necessarily look for there to be any kind of map pack. I mean, people ask me all the time, you know, in chats, you know, most of you guys have seen them and just kind of say, well, you know, what do you think it's going to be? I try to keep up with the forums, and I don't have a clue. I can totally speculate on what would probably be the case just because it's what Giants has done every single other time. But it would be here in pure speculation. I still think it's going to be some type of a tractor pack of neither a brand that we don't have or something. I don't look for it to be huge. I mean, heck, even by this time we'd already had some DLC like tractors and stuff, like a couple. There's rumors that say this is going to be the month that it comes out, but I figured they'd already started, hyping it up by now with some videos and some cool stuff. I mean, they're definitely good at the hype. yeah, pretty much, Tractor Man. They're quick. They hyped the heck out of the release of this game, man. I saw first look videos at like, shoot, 7, 8, 9 months. Like, this was the spring of 2016, and this slated wouldn't even come out till October 25th. I mean, man, the hype for this game was bigger than any of the other games I'm playing, like Division or, none of them. So it's crazy. They did a heck of a job, man. They sold a bunch of copies for it, but then it's like now they just dropped off the face of the earth. So now there I was talking, and I totally missed my management thing here. I was just chilling. Let's get him emptied out here. Crap, there's something in here. Alright. Yeah, I tried to use anything, Tractor Man. Honestly, I tried to get anything but those because that's all we had in 15. So it was just kind of like this want and need and desire to have anything else on the on the farm except for Case and New Holland. But I do like the Magnum with the double twins. That's cool. That's a cool style that we don't have. That's the only tractor that variant comes on. Yeah, I used to. I don't anymore. I played it up until they basically did the whole revamp of the entire game, and then I lost it. That's pretty much when this came out, and I just stopped playing it. Kind of ticked me off the way they did it, but that's hearsay and for another stream. There is absolutely nothing KTM wrong with Case or New Holland. It's a change of scenery. Like I said, like when I bought the Challengers for this one, I don't really like how they control. I don't really like how they control a lot of the stuff on their tractors on this game. I mean, it still feels like I'm driving a bigger version of the skid steer around. It's fine, but it was just a change of scenery because all I've been driving in 15 was the Case and the New Hollands, T4 or 5 all the way up through T9. I will say T9 is probably the favorite. It's probably my favorite tractor in the game with the doubles. I love it. I love the white wheels on the blue because blue is my favorite color. I don't mind the Challenger ones that have the big old triple wheels on them, but they still look a little funny to me. They look better in real life than they do in the models on in the game. You see pictures and stuff of them. They're pretty awesome. I'm sure they're something to behold in real life. Oh Lord, here we go. John Deere's better than Case. It's better than this. Better than that. Here we go. So, for anybody that's watching that maybe is not playing Lawfolds and is wondering how I work some of these fields, especially in close proximity to the walls and other things, they gave us a pretty good spot here. This is all default. I haven't messed with any of this. They gave us a pretty good swath here of property between our hedge and our start of the field. But I still go ahead and do one lap around. Just because at the ends or wherever your guy turns around, especially if you've got the 45-foot header, he still runs into the stuff, or he has to pull so far forward and then back all the way up on the turn that it just wastes a bunch of time. So I still just cut one ring around this, and then usually after that there's very few cleanup, and even if it is cleanup, it's not worth going and doing. Just cultivate it and just run it all in there. So I'm gonna sit here, we're just gonna listen to y'all fight it out over JCB and John Deere. There, okay. Oh, yeah. What's wrong with this guy? Where's he stopped? What's wrong here? Oh, see. Look, I've done three laps and I'm already out of seed. Yep, that's the problem. I don't know how to speed up time so I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. This is aggravating. It is dark out here. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to have some work lights out here, but I'd go broke trying to illuminate the field and it wouldn't go very far. Yeah, one of my biggest problems with this map is the way they've set up the seed. Because there's no way to really... Now, here's the thing. I guess, well... I don't even know if you could do that. I'd be interested to see if you could actually fill up... I guess you could fill up a trailer with seed and just trailer a big old bucket of seeds around with you. I mean, I guess that's a possibility. I don't know. I mean... Because, see, I've only used about 500 pounds of fertilizer on the exact same thing. I just used 3,000 pounds of seed. And I'm not allowing the worker to buy it at the time. So, you know, I think it's more expensive to have the worker actually go buy it as well. So I'm not sure if the worker buying it is more expensive than me filling up out of this thing. But I refuse to go down there and get pallets. Like, I will mod myself in $5,000 at a time, you know, for seeds if I start getting in trouble. But this is ridiculous. But I don't know. Well, I got a Cut Cadet tractor that'll whoop all of them. It's zero turn. It's that RZR series. I just had to chime in there. I wish I knew what it was like to argue about a case. Yeah, I don't know, 26, man. I didn't have a problem working 27. 32 is okay. 33 is even okay once you get the gist of it. Oh, and it's going to rain, so I'm fixing to have to can my harvesting session here in a minute. Now let's see if I can find out where I was. Does that look like it? Yes, it does. I think also that I've noticed in this map, I don't know, my growth rate is not fast. It's on normal. I mean, I guess I could slow it down. I could slow it down to 5x, but 5x days go by so slow. I've always liked running 15x, but it might be that I have to slow it down. Let's see, I'm back in daylight, so let's slow it. 5x is not bad, but you can tell how fast everything grows, and I can't even get this field actually planted before it starts growing in. So that's why I'm only doing one fertilization. And honestly, I mean, fertilization looks like it's lasting pretty good. My assumption, because it looks like I'm using seed 3 times faster. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm using 9 times more seed than I am fertilizer. So 9 pounds of seed go by versus 1 pound of fertilizer. So I'm not exactly sure what the math and the logic is, but behind what they were thinking on that one. Oh crap! Now I'm gonna have to do this. This is what you run into, especially with the big stuff. So typically, what I'll do is pull a, especially with the seeder and a cultivator. I won't necessarily worry about because I can go by and clean all my edges up. But I'll need to pull this edge just so that I get seed all the way out to the end. Because if not, it'll leave these nasty gaps. I'm kind of jealous. Playing some Euro Truck. Very nice. So I don't have to worry about this one right here. But see, it'll stop and I'll at least get this whole thing planted right here. Now the one thing I'm probably going to have to do, besides get my cedar off of the hedge, go check this other side. I can still always send it from this side, but let me check this other one and see what it looks like. Because I know, yeah, it's got here and there. Okay, so I think all that, was that even? Yeah, see, that's all. Yeah, this was from earlier. I kind of screwed up with my cultivator and seeder because this hedge is a lot closer than most of them. So I'm just going to try to fill in the blanks here and see if I can get away with it. Definitely not the prettiest, but I guess it gets the job done. I wish we had a Tractor Man to cap on what you're saying there. I wish we had more. I do wish we had some more JCBs. I know I've talked in stream about, you know, we're missing a couple of the flagship lines of the tractor lines, but I know we are missing a few of the JCBs. Like I said yesterday, there's a ton of Challenger tractors that we don't have, and they're standard tractors. You know, they're not tracked. They're not these special ones that they've given us for the release. But they are, you know, they're just like anything else, like the JCB tractors or, you know, Case. I mean, I kind of wonder if that might be the first. That might be the first one. Oh, and there's the rain. So that means Mr. Harvester will stop. Yep. So let's go ahead and we'll empty him out. Gotta go drive your rig. Alright, man. Take it easy. There's Mr. James with his joke of the day. This has been an FTG moment. Bye. And episode 5 FTG has been brought to you by James Landry. Yeah, man, it took I have to tell you, Chuck, I said it earlier, but you weren't around. Shame on you for having real life get in the way. I don't think, no, these are Challenger tractors, dude. Like, I'm talking about like the one I'm driving. I know they've got some combines. That's part of it, but the ones I've seen are actually tractors. Now, they might be versions of these tractors. They're just wheeled versions. So that might be part of, that might be what I'm seeing. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not either. Combine's a combine to me. They all do the same exact thing. Yeah, Chuck, after my game crashed last night, which can't remember if you were on here or not. Interesting end of the evening. But I figured out that I bought that Pronto DC9. It was pointless. And then I also had figured out that I'd bought the loading wagon. Well, I'd already had that loading wagon, so I basically bought 2 of them. So I purposely did not go back and buy them again. So I purchased some more sheep and then got me an auger wagon. I figured I would take Greg's advice, and he said they do semis on the edge and do auger wagons. So I said, well, I'll go grab me one of these because I don't really mess with them that much. So I guess since I'm waiting here, I could get in there, check the sheep, see what they're doing. I could make a couple of runs. I got some grass I'm trying to move out of the sheep pen. I'll just get him set up. I don't want to start him because I'm liable to get out there and forget about it, then him wind up erasing half my field here. Yeah, lucky you, man. I'd done whatever that whole entire stream was last night. I'd forgotten it. Mario had even warned me and said, hey, save your game. And I ignored him, but not on purpose, of course, but I ignored him just because I was like, my game never freezes. Yeah, went on last night and it froze. It froze like a pile of beef in a deep freezer. So I was so mad last night. But I managed to keep my cool. But I've been like saving every probably 10-15 minutes tonight. Like that's all I've been doing, guys, guzzling water today. Yeah, let me see if I can get your chat back up. Is it gonna work? I think it might, maybe, certainly, sure. That's getting me like it's yeah. It's like it's not configured in YouTube anymore. Let's see if this fixes it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if y'all okay with the chat being on there, I'll leave it up there. I don't have a problem with that. $4:30 to 11. What a day. Let's say this tractor's growing on me. The turn radius on this tractor is pretty terrible, but it looks cool. Let's move this out of the way. I'll just let him do one more pass and that's all. And I am cutting him off. Probably gonna do the same thing on all these. These fields will work fine if you're working smaller equipment, but if you're especially using the big stuff in the game, as you can see there, it's left me a little strip there. And he'll come back and he'll get this all once he backs up, but he will not, really. So I'm glad I saved it. Alright, well, that's another great lockup. So that's 2 lockups in 2 days. So I just saved it. So let me tell you what, let me just come right back. I'm not going to cut off stream. I'm just going to restart it. So don't go anywhere. I don't know if that's rain, whatever, but it's completely froze lockup. So yeah. Alright, hang on. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. That's disappointing. I'm not sure. They didn't do that before update. I've had maps do that periodically, and it always seems to happen in and around bad weather. I don't know if it's just too much, if the PS4 just says I've had enough and I can't keep up. I don't know, but there's definitely something to why it's doing it on this map. This is the second time in 2 nights after the update, so there's definitely something askew there. It's not that's not meshing right. Sorry about that. Appreciate you guys sticking that out with me. I shouldn't. I'm just glad. I just literally made fixing to make the one pass down there on the field. So it's weird. I can always tell when you start up on this map how shaky the frames are, and then it finally smooths out. Let's get everybody started again. Alright, it's got you guys. Yeah, so not too bad there. So I probably will, I'll start making this a little bit more of a habit on this one. For whatever reason, I don't do automatic save. Some people are always against the automatic save in this game in 15 because it didn't work right. So I don't know. What do you guys do? Do you guys do the automatic save? Kind of interested to know if you do. Because I don't really know anybody that I personally, have done any farming with that does it besides multiplayer. I know Chuck's done it some on multiplayer. Seems to work okay. Alright. Okay, yeah, he's going to make the turn. That was a long drive. Oh, and of course, I've got wheat in there. So probably a couple of my next purchases. One is going to be another trailer or another semi that I can pull around. And the other is going to be another harvester. I do like these for a lot of the field work. I wouldn't mind having a couple of those crampy, couple of the big ones there, 59,000 ones. I wouldn't mind having a few of those just for transport out of the silos. I wish it wouldn't do that. I always wonder what the heck happened to my tractor when the brakes slammed in it. I'm like, oh, it's a great demand for wood chips. That's something I needed to know. But I guess it's kind of nice because I run my I run all of my HUD so small so it stays out of the picture because I don't really look at it that much. Whoops. So, one other thing that I noticed yesterday that I don't really think that I noticed before, and that was this. This map completely gives you the option to start out completely without any delay, having everything you need for sheep. And I mean everything. And I better stop this guy once he gets up here, because he's not going to start. Yeah, I'm just going to stop him right there. That way I don't run the risk of screwing myself up there. So I didn't really notice this. As you saw there, field 28 is corn. I think 29 is canola. 33 from the start was 33 from the start was wheat, I believe. 34 is wheat or barley. So all three of you had corn proteins, you had canola for your base was corn, then you had proteins for canola. 30 is sugar beet. So you actually start out this map with everything you need for pigs, which pigs are right there on the farm, so that would actually make sense. But I thought it was actually pretty cool that they gave you the whole entire, whole entire thing. I mean, heck, they don't even give you most of these little map guys don't give you enough stuff to get sheep started. And all it is the dadgum water tank and a loading wagon and a mower. And this one even gave you the loading wagon, gave you a milk tank. I forget what else. It gave you something else. The mower, that. Yeah, it gave us a tipper. I mean, the only thing it didn't give you was, it still even gave you the pallet fork. So, if you do decide to jump in this, if you haven't jumped into it yet, this is by far one of the easiest maps to have to be able to sell everything and do two things. Either sell everything and buy what you want to buy, which is what I decided to do. And you can go however the heck you want to go. Or you can use a lot of the smaller stuff. You can use a lot of the smaller stuff in your arsenal when you first start, and then go straight into pigs. Usually pigs is the last thing I get into, because I can't stand doing, I don't really like doing corn. I really hate doing beet crops, root crops, potatoes, sugar beets. I can't stand doing that stuff. Hey, what's going on, Alexis? Let's see here. I'm going to be kind of a little bit strapped here. Let me go ahead and throw these. I'll probably speed it up. Might transfer some of this grass, because I cut this whole entire field. Now this whole entire sheep pen here, which is where I'm at, is yeah, right there south of, well, I guess this would have been east of field 34. That whole entire area is free. Free grass. So I'm utilizing that free grass for the sheep, but I'm also utilizing that grass for cows. So I'm go ahead and trailering some of that, kind of unwillingly, all the way down to the cows. So I wanted to one thing that I had, and this will be my little FTG tip of the day. Let me go ahead and save it, just because I can so see something going on here. I've been trying to figure out ways. A lot of people, and I'm guilty of this in normal real life, and I have actually worked a few of these, pallet loaders on a skid steer. Now it was a Bobcat skid steer, but it's the same principle. The thing about this is usually put the pallet flat on the ground and then pull the pallets out without pulling against the pallet itself, unless it's in a tight area that just need to get it off, and then it just is what it is. You just have to do that. On the game, you really can't do that for whatever reason. A lot of these pallets, including the front loader, this particular skid steer pallet is not too bad, but a lot of people I've seen struggle getting the pallets off the forks, where they get bound up, they get wound up in something. With the wool thing, I found out that works the best. Instead of trying to set it flat on the thing like this, you kind of saw me do it, was lay it up on its corner. Or this one would be, and then pull out from underneath it. Now it's going to let it drop just a little bit depending on where you set it, but you can just pull your thing up and pull it flat on back up onto the trailer. So I'll see if I can do the same thing on this one. Kind of see what I do, because this, I don't know, this is one of those operations that's fun, but it gets really annoying whenever the pallet forks get stuck in the pallet itself. And like I said, these aren't too bad, but some of them are terrible. And usually if you pick it up and you tilt it back, and if it does not slide, then resituate it, because it's going to lock up on you. I can tell you that from experience. So if it slides down the forks, then you are good. You're good to go for this. So I'll usually pull it up, and then I will push it forward just a little bit, and almost it'll slide off the forks, and then I'll set it and just let it bounce right down. And then if you need to push it over a little bit, then you can certainly do that, and then back up, and then you can put your second one on. So just a little something there that's wound up helping me a lot with these. Now that the same principle applies to everything else, but it's much easier on the skid steer pallet loader like this one, and it's much easier on the telehandler. I had to think about it for a minute. Actually, I'm gonna keep that open while we're raining here. I'm gonna pick up some grass. Alright, let's see here. Animals should be pretty good, and I may yeah, we'll go and fill them up, top them off. And what's selling good right now? Okay, canola's selling at 16. I probably would wait till any of this stuff gets up around 2,000. I'm all out of soybean, which I should have put some soy on that one field. I have got a ton of wheat that needs to start going, so that's maybe what I'm going to work on right now, because it's going up. So let's just go ahead and do that. Yes, I can get there from here. So let's see, the A&W Group Grains is at the shop, I'm pretty sure. I think Highland Grains is the one up near the biogas, but I'll pull up my icon so I can tell. I'll dump this canola off. The wheat selling at 1,000 is killer. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to, run legit, now it's going to take you a while to harvest this stuff, but selling it is pretty easy. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty nice going in there and getting. This is on normal, by the way. This is not on easy. Usually for wheat, you only get maybe 600, 700. I think usually I've saw it around 300 or 400 maybe. But here you can get it selling all the way up to 1,000, and even a little bit higher in some cases. I did not realize I had that much wheat. So while that's filling up, let me go ahead and turn. Yep. Let's go ahead and turn these on. Yep. So Group Grains is up there by the shop. And probably after I sell this, I may go ahead and break down, and I really don't want to. I wish I could do the color of those crampy trailers. I just can't stand the red. I say driving on this map is a challenge as well. One thing I've kind of come up with on this one, it's not like all the other maps. You definitely got to, especially if you're going to drive semis and stuff around here, it's you got to be definitely mindful of your areas, because you're not going to be able to just fly right through the hedges like you can with all the rest of them. Wish I had a forecast here on my phone to see when this rain's going to let up. Yes, sir, Carolina. Good to see you, man. We will see you next time. I guess this guy was done. Go ahead and fold him up here. So I just did what, two or three lines there, and he's already down to 849, so he wouldn't have lasted much longer, and he was going to be out. So You definitely use seed much faster on this map, which is fine. It gives you it gives you an extra additive, something to think about. Your fertilizer sure goes a long way. I'm not sure if that's meant by design or if that's the way it is in standard. It just feels like it's going by long because your seeds are going so fast. Tipped over. No, I've gotten a load too heavy that it pulled the back tires up. But obviously, I just put the bucket back down and it righted itself. So nothing too horrific, scary. I've noticed on these truckloads, I think I was about to, and then I said bye to Carolina. I think usually my going rate on these. Oh, good, it's not raining. My going rate on these seems to be somewhere around 70 to 80,000. Now I probably won't get that because this is wheat, but some of the other ones I was getting around 80,000 just for the truckload, and this is 47,000 pounds. So you can think you add in another, add in another 6, 7, 8 tons of material, and that's definitely going to give you a little bit more. So there's definitely workable situations where you might be dumping $100,000 trailers in the pits. You won't do that on wheat and barley just because they don't bring as much, but we'll see how much this brings, and you pretty much multiply that times 2. It's essentially what you bring with the others. So 49. So yeah, so you'd be talking. Some of those others are around 2,000, so they're around $50,000. 100,000 for a 47 for this particular trailer load worth of canola or any of the rest. It's pretty awesome. Regan sucks at not in the game in real life. Yeah, I figured that much. Most of the time in this game, all the tractors will right themselves right back up anyway. Let's see, we've had some turnover on the watchers. So if we got new guys, I want to make sure I welcome you guys to the stream. Also, we just want to make it very abundantly clear that if you guys want to throw stuff up in chat, please feel free to. Carolina's been here for a while, so has Tractor, and they're a couple guys that are actually out there doing it in real life. So they get on and definitely go back and forth on a lot of the stuff that they've had access to. But anyway, don't let that deter you from throwing something up in. Don't let that deter you from throwing something up in chat and saying hey and introducing yourself. Definitely enjoy getting to know all the new guys on here. Seems like it's been really cool. I have definitely enjoyed this time here on the streams. This is definitely a part of the day or the night that I look forward to. It's given me a little bit of a new, I don't want to say a new reason to play this, but it's definitely bolstered it a little bit. So I enjoy meeting you guys. If any of you want to throw something out there, please feel free to. The chat is welcome and welcome for all to use. Just want to make sure you guys knew that. I guess, well, shoot, man, that actually didn't go down, so I could keep selling that wheat on out. Gotta go bedtime. All right, well, now Tractor's gone. Someone's gonna have to pick up on chat. Wish I had some sunflower. It'd be nice to grab some of that. All right, let's see here. All right, so that's empty. Let's go and get my. Let's go ahead and get him going again. Come on. There we go. Alright, so I'll get him going again, and I will go ahead and go pick up another load of wheat. Yeah, see you, buddy. Have a good one. I will more than likely be on tomorrow. I don't see why I won't be. I knew I drove by that. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's throw more of that in there. So this will get me up to, let's see, that was about 48. This will be the same. So it'll be somewhere around 225 after I get done with this one. That is not too bad. I actually don't like doing wheat. It's pointless. Unless you're going to do cows. You know, wheat and barley. You can chaff, you know, put your stuff out there. You need to roll it in silage if you've got a forage harvester. A lot of people don't know that. So if you do wheat and barley and you chaff out the center, you can go pick that up with the easy flow header. And you can dump that right into a trailer, just like and use it for silage, just like you would cutting grass or chopping corn. It'll work either way. Just kind of cool. A lot of people know it's a real easy way to get. It doesn't pick it up like a loading wagon either. Now, if you go pick up chaff from wheat and barley with a loading wagon, it'll just pick it up as straw. But yeah, if you actually do it with a forage harvester, it'll turn it into chaff that you can use for silage, which is kind of cool. You get a lot of it that way, I find, especially if you've done done fertilized field and you've picked up good swaths of area, like using that 45-foot header. It won't take you long at all to fill up your trailer and take it down with silage bin if that's what you want to do. Some people are just very anti-cutting grass. What's going on, Greg? Glad to see you, man. Yeah, I took your advice and went ahead and got the auger wagon. I got that last night after my game royally crashed. It was bad. It's already crashed today, so every time I do something worth meaning on the the farm, I save it. I'll probably save again after I dump this load in there. It's just been I don't know why. It didn't do it any this morning, but it did start raining, so I don't know if that was part of it. But yeah, I figured I took your advice and do my semi out on the edge, and had been running the auger wagon back and forth. So it's yeah, it's been going pretty good. I never really used the auger wagon before, just because it was one of those. It's just, it's like an extra process, an extra step in the process. That was annoying. But this auger wagon's actually pretty good because the pipe on this one in 17 is much taller. It actually pipes into the bigger trailers, which the one in 15, that little that little twin axle, the horse one really didn't. So yes, well, it's the sim. I mean, it's everything crash and run, but it's only happening on this map after the update. I do know that. So I don't, it's happened to me before on the modded maps, but maybe only once on Chellington, maybe only once on Coldborough. I wasn't too far in it when it had crashed before, but last night's, man, I had like 2 hours and 20. However long the stream was however long I'd been working, and yeah, it had crashed last night. Right at the very end, I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and take this as my cue to stop streaming tonight. So, that was, yeah, that was a tough pill to swallow last night. I was ticked. Yep, another 48. Sweet, I will take it. And I had that little skid steer there. I'd had him over here to do pallets and stuff. I was also going to tell you, Greg, I told everyone else beginning early on in the stream, I figured out that it looks to be, now I don't know, I've tried to work out the exact same type of math, but the seed to fertilizer usage ratio on the Amazon now, it's not just that one, it's all the seeders. The Pronto DC9 is the exact same way. It uses the seeds at a rate 9 times faster per pound than the fertilizer. So you'll use 9 pounds of seeds before you use 1 pound of fertilizer. I'm not sure what that equates to in its totality, since you start out with a lot more fertilizer than you do seeds. I think you start out with 5,000 pounds of fertilizer to 3,000 pounds of seed. So quite a big difference. And I did do a test on the other ones, the vanilla maps, and the vanilla maps use seed way slower. Way slower. So this map's definitely been adjusted on its seed usage, which is okay. I don't mind. It's kind of nice to know that. I don't think that the Amazon, I don't think you can keep it filled up with seed fast enough. And you know, I'd bought that DC9 last night, the Pronto. I'd bought it before my game had crashed, and after I bought that, I was like, I'm not buying that, because I wound up putting seeds in it twice before I even got 3/4 of the way done with field 32. Yes, it's got to be. I know he has adjusted the sale prices. I guess this is something inside the Giants editor. See, I've never looked inside the Giants editor to know what they actually have control of. But I'm under the assumption they would have control of everything that's actually inside of the map that's a general, we'll call it a defaulted control of Giants. Whether it's, you know, whatever you want to call it, whether it's a code, a script, you know, a data ref, anything like that, they've got stuff in there that they can set parameters and values to. It can either be a default or it can be something that is customizable. And evidently that's one thing that can be customizable, because it's in there. And it's very, very, very noticeable. I guess all my equipment kind of got a halfway of a washing. Just got done with the rain, so. Woohoo! Alright, let's see. I'll go ahead and get this guy started back again. Alright, get them turned back around. So this one I've wound up fielding, let's see, this is field 26. So I wind up doing this field, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So this would have been, yeah, so three full buy-ins of seed on this map at 4,000 apiece. So I guess I've got 800 left, so you could effectively say it's $4,000 to fill this thing up at the actual seed tanks on the farm. So 4,000 and then 4,000, it's 2 and then 3, so that's 12,000, and then this would be somewhere, I would just say 3,000 since I've got about 1,000 left pounds of seed. So you could say $15,000 is what it costs me to seed and fertilize that field once. That's field 26. So 15 grand to seed that sucker. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, stripped teal planter seems to use more fertilizer. I haven't tested, but it seems to use fertilizer more than if you cultivate first. That's interesting. I mean, I am cultivating first with the Amazon, just because it can only fertilize and seed at the same time. But I noticed that when I did that, I was right there is what I've got. 4,562. Now, it did fill that up once, but I was only at like 97%. I think that says 91%. So I used less than 1,000 pounds of fertilizer on that whole entire field, but I used around 10,000 pounds of seed. I mean, it's crazy because it's 4,000 pounds every time you fill it up from 0 to 3,000. Now, if you bought the pallets, 3,000 at 3 each at 900 a piece, that would be 2,700. So, you know, it's a pretty stark contrast. Talking 2,700 and then going up into the 4,000s per seed, and then how many times you actually have to fill it up. I mean, it's kind of like, wow. I mean, this is a lot of money just to seed up a field like that. I don't know in the real world. I don't even know what seeding and doing 15 acres and seeding. I don't know what that would cost. I kind of still feel like that's a little bit out of the the realms of normality. But nonetheless, it's still the one thing about it is this. I mean, that's crazy that we've got that. It's cool that they can control that. I mean, it definitely adds a new element into the sim. The other part of that being, I would kind of almost be interested to see what else they could do. But it's so easy to make money. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, I have not had one issue. See, we'll own that. PC has a mod in beta, I think, for replaceable seed storage and fertilizer. Yeah, I did see that, and yeah, I doubt that comes to console. We did get, you'll laugh. I don't have it in here, but we got the fence mod. Woo! Got the fence mod. But I actually got this one. I kind of like this. We got this little cool thing. This is what we got for our mods. so take that, PC. Oh, wait for a response. Alright, so I don't have any soy, so that's what I'm going to actually put down right here. And let's just see how much seed we use. Now that was canola I was putting down as well, so it's possible that there's different rates. I noticed that I'm only using per pound. Looks like I'm only using 3 pounds per 1 pound of fertilizer to seed ratio doing soy. So maybe crops that you make a lot of money on, maybe those seed at a much faster rate. Who knows? But I definitely know there's something to it. It's not just random kind of a wishful thinking that there's definitely something going on there. I like the rustic look to it. Yeah, and we got the fences from Sosnovka. That was our other one that we got. I was like, I have to be careful, being on console. I'm like, any mod is better than no mod. That's a little bit of our philosophy here at FTG. A mod is better than a no mod. If y'all caught that pun and play on words there. It's supposed to be nomad, but I couldn't say nomad. It was no mod. Okay, I laugh at my own jokes, but that's cool. Yes, sir, Mario. Now that I'm kind of getting to a place here, I'll hit you up with a message. We'll get you on maybe this weekend or so when you're on. Just let me know what times you got. Send me a message, and we'll get you hop on with us this weekend. Good to see you later, buddy. Thanks for the heads up on the saving. I wouldn't mind if we got the crop destruction. All that stuff would be really nice. I kind of feel bad driving right through the middle of my crops. sandwiched in there. He's going to catch up. So this is cool. I like this. I like your harvester going. You got your cultivator coming up behind him, and then you got your seeder behind him. Then you're just trying to stay out of the way of it all. I do kind of like that. This is kind of how I like to work. And if you can keep all this going and just be the go-between to keep everything squared away, then yeah, that's where I like to be. But typically what happens, and I might have to slow the cultivator guy up because everything's running twice as fast as the harvester, so. This is the one thing I wish at some point, I wish they had a worker that would stay under the pipe. That's the other thing sometimes that I don't mind doing, I just get tired of doing it. Like, I'd really like to do something else. I go drive and sell some stuff, yeah, that'd be good. I'm probably missing my window on this stuff being sold anyway. Let's see. We're just going to slow you up because you're going way too fast. And yeah, we're going to get you out of the way. Alright, who's helper G? Oh, I know what that was about. That was me walking. Oh my god! I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Alright, well, let me restart. It's not going to do anything on here. I'm just going to put up my screen here, just so you can see all the, yeah, no, it's not going anywhere, Greg. I can assure you of that. I sat last night for like 10 minutes, just hoping and praying that it would do it, and no, it didn't. So yeah, let me finish up here. I'm going to run some grass. I'm just going to get away from the harvest. Maybe I had so much going on. Who knows? That shouldn't even be a thing, but whatever. I'm just going to put this up. I'm not going anywhere. Stream's not cutting out, so hang out with me. Oh my gosh, dude, this is so. This has only been since the update. Yeah. Anybody running console right now, just go ahead, stop what you're doing. Just believe me. Go ahead and save your game. It's okay. Nobody's going to laugh at you. Just save your game. All right. Waiting on the good old load screen. That's twice in an hour and a half. And well, there's definitely something going on with this map. I may run to another map tomorrow, maybe. I may run to something else just to see what it does, how it reacts, to see if this is a Lawfolds issue, or if this is something over at Coldborough, if it's working the same. My feeling is it's not. I mean, I was trying to think. I do have a couple of the new mods in there, which I probably could do one without the mods, because I don't really think I'm actually got any mods in the actual game, save game. I've got a few, but I mean, besides something I'm actually using. I'm curious if maybe there's not possibly an issue with something that's preloaded that we got in addition to this update. I know we got a bell fork, we got, I want to say we got a few things. I have to actually go back. Yeah, I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to go. It's something's going on inside. Yeah, it's going. I mean, it's doing a complete hard lock. That's why I probably recoded it. Nah. Oh my gosh! Wow, I'm so far behind. Oh, it sucks. Well, it could have been worse. Not much worse, but it could have been worse. I still got my money, and there's my randomly in the middle of the road. All right, let me drive us back to the farm. Get it out of the way. Well, it did it to me last night, Chuck, and it did it to me again at about an hour, and then it did it to me again just then. So this would be the third time. So I think maybe I kind of hate that, because I was actually just starting to get in this map, but I mean, there's only so many times you can. There's only so many times you can go back and do what you just did. Even if it's 5 minutes, sometimes you can do a lot of junk in 5 minutes. So I don't know whether I go back and do Chillington and continue animals on there. I mean, I actually had a good start on Chillington. You know, you can hire workers on there as well. I've probably got enough on that map, money-wise, that's legit. I could go back and buy me that harvester. That one's more or less taking care of animals right now, because that was what that was mainly set up to do. Was just do that other stuff for animals. Coldborough got all the animals done on it, so this is one I was actually enjoying. You shouldn't be so hard on yourself. It did me too, until I just did it enough. I tell you honestly, what if anybody's wanting to, how do I get better doing certain stuff? You want to learn how to stack bales, then go stack round bales 2 at a time. That's where I literally, the stacking round bales is where I really learned how to stack bales and do it right. The other thing is grabbing the 3-point bale fork on a harvester, not a harvester, on a telehandler, and doing it on that one, because that one will get you too. So you did the auto stack, and then you do 3 bales, and then that leaves them in the field. And then you go by with that 3-point on the telehandler, pick all 3 of those bales, and then stack them up and put them on that Marshall trailer. That's what I did, and it's probably the reason why I can actually stack bales well today, is because of those. Glad the animals aren't static anymore. I guess they were in the update. This is supposed to be the big thing that they fixed. Yeah, man. Not exactly sure. There were some other things. He said fix some gates at the end of the field so you wouldn't get stuck in them. But as for anything else, I don't know, which is what leads me to think that it's very possible that there's something else in the mod folders. Because let me go over here and just look. Okay, all that was standard. So I think what came in was, I don't even know why I have those in there. Yes, this biobelts thing was in there. Now that's new. That came in, and the only thing that I know of that I've brought in was the placeable. So maybe, I'm trying to think yesterday, I mean, that would have been it. Would have been the other, would have been the biobelts thing. So it's possible. Maybe I may try taking those things out, and then we'll continue to save every little bit and see what happens. That might alleviate my issue. Might not make it any better. Oh, come on. Alright, so I'm stacked full up on this. So what I have been doing, it's a little bit of drive over there, but it's pretty easy. Just setting this baby on cruise and riding back towards the cows, and I'm just dumping the grass that I'm cutting here for free, since I've not paid for any of that, and dumping it over there by the cows. Now, the other part of this is that the cows have a little bit of a field over there as well. So I think what I'm going to do, just to make this trip a little bit easier, I'm going to take the mower set over from the sheep and move it over to the cows. And I'm going to look and see if there's a way for me to get into this pen. If there is a way for me to get into the pen, then I'm going to cut just like I did this one. And you can see the sheep are all like out in this big old huge area. That's their whole entire pasture. So they're eating the grass that I've literally rolled up there, even though it's not counting towards anything. I still going to try that, see if it actually works. My assumption is that I can get into it like you can with any of the rest of them. And if that's the case, then I'll just bring the mower down and I'll just cut grass over there, and that way, because I am not going to do silage bales. I said that the past couple of streams, I refuse to do that. So it's pretty easy when you've opened all the gates. I don't mind the gates. They were kind of fun at first. That's about as long as they were fun. That joke stopped giving after the second day on this map. It's pretty nice big old field of corn there. Looks like the same texture as Coldborough Park. I'd have to go back and look, but that little outskirt area there looks the same as Coldborough. I have to go back and look, but I bet it is. Alright, so let's see. Let's find this field. Alright, so, and I think I can see the gate now. Yep, so you can get into that pen. We'll go over here and look at it and see what it looks like. So what I've been doing, you may say, well, how in the world did you drive that out that flat? You guys will get to see me do all kind of leveling of silage and all that fun stuff that Chuck loves watching. Went with silage bales instead. I hear you. So I will set 4 miles an hour, and once I get right past the hump, I'll automatically unload. And I kind of missed there, but it's close enough. So I'll do cruise control, keep him off the wall a little bit as best as I can, and just like that. And you get a nice smooth pack. So really, you wouldn't really effectively need to use the silage if you didn't want to. Silage leveler. Some people are getting very anti-leveler since we've got some of these other things in here. And this thing does not make too clean of a turn. But I do see we've got some grain here. And let me just make sure this gate opens up, because if it does, this could be a perfect place for you to do some grass. There is nothing wrong with cutting the grass in here. Now, the one thing about it, you cannot fertilize this grass. You cannot do anything. I assume, since this is not an owned field, you can bring a plow in here, plow this up, and you could plant anything in the middle of the cows, and it might look a little weird. But I will show you what I'm probably going to do. I probably will, since I have the tractors. I will come down here and plow this, because once you cut grass on this, once after you've plowed and seeded new grass, it will fertilize it every single time you cut it. And I always say that for anybody that misses it, it's cutting fertilized grass once, it's almost like double the return of cutting grass that's just growing there as a part of the default game. So keep that in mind. Anytime you've got a chance to plow a grass field and actually plant it with grass, it's awesome, because every single time you cut it, you're going to get credit for a fertilization stage. So if you're just doing one stage, or even if you're doing 3, that's a free stage in there that you wouldn't otherwise have. So keep that in mind. Well, what stinks about that is you can only do them. We need a little top them off. What did I do? Oh yeah, I wanted to save my game. Yeah, I did Cold Burrow. Cold Burrow not so bad because I wasn't planning on having a huge cow operation. But this one could stand, since I'm planning on doing a lot with the auto stacker. I'm not going to be doing all loaded round bales. I just can't. I can't do that same operation on all 3 of my maps. And same goes for silage as well. I'm not going to do that either. Let's see, because I think this field right here is wheat. Yeah, wheat or barley. I think that's wheat. And then, so that would be 33, and 34 is whatever it originally was, because I've never come down here and done anything on this field. Mainly because these are so oblong, they wind up requiring you to do a lot of extras on the field. I want to say 34 was wheat, and I believe I replanted 33 to be wheat, and it's same. So. I've seen some changeover in the stream, so guess I got guys out there that sorry if you'll hear this twice, but welcome to the new guys that have come in here in the past 5 or 10 minutes. See the numbers jump down, then they'll come right back up. So I assume that new people are coming in, so welcome. Don't forget to sub if you want to keep up with it. I'm usually streaming about every night, so if you do obviously like what you see and like some of these videos, you know, keep up with them. I am on PS4 right now, keeping up with Twitter as well, so if you're into that and, you know, kind of want to keep up with the console side of it, I really do kind of get into that. I enjoy that, so if any of that interests you, please feel free, and I can just run this down here for a little bit. It'll pull chat away, but it's okay. I actually did get my chat finally fixed, so I figured out what I was doing wrong. And pretty much, I think this is all double cut, so I'm pretty much at the limitation, so I'm bouncing right on the ridge of this grass. Don't realize how much grass is over here till you go to start picking it up. This is all stuff that I originally picked up right in the very first of the game. The first thing I did is I come down here, cut this grass, then I waited for it to grow back in. I cut it again, and man, so that would be one. Gosh, probably got another maybe 10 loading wagon loads in here, full of grass. And it's not been, now this is all, you can see it's got that grass texture underneath. That means it's not fertilizable. If it had almost like a dirt texture underneath weaved into the grass, then that would look like you could actually fertilize that. Let's see, I can actually get out that gate too, but that might be a tight fit there. Let's see, so I got that on. I wonder if I can carry both. Let's see how much of this I can. Wait a minute. Oh, really? Alright. Alright, it's gonna be another drive back up. I remember my mower and stuff is all up there at the main shop. So I always do this sometime towards just the close of the stream. Thanks new guys that have subbed in. If you have subbed and don't see your name in this top recent 4 here, part of that is because you don't allow anyone else to see your subscriber list. So I figured out that's why that works the way it does. So if you have subbed and you do not make that information private, then that's why you don't show up on the actual newest sub list. So appreciate these guys. Croc 342. We got Willie Banks. Man, it sounds like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air character. And Tobias. Welcome, guys. Mr. Darkness of Love. It's neither really freaky or scary. Can't figure that one out. But yes, welcome to all 4 of you. Just got the next 4 newest guys on there. I may actually extend that out because subs are getting a little bit more each night. So I certainly appreciate you guys subbing to the channel. It means a lot to me. Just, you know, I guess it validates some of the info that's I'm trying to get out there. I'm not always correct. I don't ever claim to be. If you guys ever have a correction, you know, just bring that up in chat sometime, and I will do my best to make that correction. But if you're if you're a jerk on in the comments of the videos, then I'll be a jerk right back to you. Because I just do this because I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it right now. So. One of these days, maybe I'll be able to make some money on it, but that day is not today. So today is fun day. But I do appreciate you guys subbing and keeping up with it and being active in chat and all those other things. It does mean a lot. It makes the streams makes them a lot of fun. Let's see, now just drive this back one time. We'll go grab, let's see, I'll go ahead and save it so I don't run into that again. So I'm going to go up and get the mowers, bring those down. That's pretty much a straight shot over. That won't be a big deal. At least I hope not. I guess I can use the trailers. So eventually I'll start bringing some stuff down. At least the stuff that I won't need. I can just start buying things over there for the cows. Make plenty of money in this map. Especially doing soy and canola. Just basically, I'll usually seed opposite ends of those. So I'll do one time I'll do canola, next time I'll do soy. Keep up with it. I haven't gotten into sunflower or any of that. I've actually not harvested any sunflower since I got 17. It's not because I don't like it. It's just because to me it just seems like a pointless crop that still harvests just like anything else. There's not any process about it that's different. And typically the price on it is still up there, but I've noticed on this map especially, it's always a little bit less than canola or soy. So if you're not going to, if you're not going to make one or the other bigger or better at different times, then there's no point in planting them. You just plant the same thing, which is exactly what happened in 15. You just go plant a ton of canola because that's where you're going to make all your money. so then I'm going to go up here and alright, I'm going to go ahead and pick up some more grass, and that's basically going to be just the load up of this, and then I'm going to refill the feed trough there. Try not to run over any of my little sheepers. I'm gonna see maybe before the stream tomorrow. So if any of you guys are interested in kind of hanging around to see, especially if you know, like Chuck has not really started on this map, so you know there may be another issue. I'm gonna dig on the forums. If not, I'm gonna go look and see what has actually been posted inside the forums. It's possible that this issue has already been brought up. I would not be surprised if it hadn't been. If you are not actively involved in the forums, I would implore you to be. I'm seeing more and more of a concerted console effort to have a mature voice on there, and I think it needs to be a mature voice. I don't think it needs to be a sit back and hollering and screaming voice on the forums of that we're not getting treated fairly. That's not going to do anything but make us get treated even more unfairly, especially if we're nasty about it. But yeah, get on there. It's a good way to keep up with what's going on, especially if you've got stuff that's bugging you, or if you've got questions and you want to see if those questions have been answered before. It's a good way to get that kind of information. That's pretty much where I get most of my stuff. I do check some of the UK. It's possible, Louise. The bail situation now. It'll tell you on there if you get close to the limit, which I think is 200. It'll say that they won't allow you to make any more. That you're going to have to either use them in feed, or you're going to have to sell them, and then it'll allow you to make more. In 15, they would just, the ones you created first would just like disappear completely. But if I'm assuming you're talking about that being the reason why possibly the game is crashing. And I would say that I just ran, yeah, I was about to say I just ran over my Juno. Oh well, I have to reset him. Sorry. I forgot about that little guy. Alright, hang on. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm beginning to think that it's more and more on the lines of a mod. I mean, I know every mod's supposed to be tested and vetted, but it's weird that only started happening on that map after I updated. So it was not doing that before when I had just had the map itself, and it's maybe happened on one or two occasions. But it seems to be once it gets under a load, it just shuts off, and that could be a PS4 issue with this map. It's got too much going on with it. It really could be a litany of things. Let's see. I'll put this right here. And we'll go ahead and top off the water. And if you didn't know, water on this map is by the hydrants. So everywhere you see a hydrant, there's one by the pigs, there's one on the south side of the cows. You just back up to it and just click L3 like you always do, and it fills it up. It does charge you for it, but since there is no I got caught on that fence. Since there is no ponds or streams or any kind of water for you to grab things out of, If you're interested, I covered probably would have been somewhere around the mid half of the stream in episode 4. The forums, I've caught wind of sniffed out a mod that's coming for console, and I'm sure it will come for PC as well. But it's actually like water tanker mods. So this little 7,300 liter thing is probably about to go away. And there's even been some discussion. I don't know if it'll actually happen. There's been some discussion on making. Let me find it so I can show you. Where is, okay, slurry tanks. So there's even some thought about making this thing right here, the TSA 30,000. There's even some talk of making this, or making a variation that's exactly the same. They're just going to take the brands off of it, call it a Lizard, and then see if they can actually get that passed through copyright and everything else. But they're going to make that possibly a water tanker as well. So a couple of maybe cool things that, especially if you are a big animals guy, and you keep lots of animals, that might be something, kind of worth keeping your eye on to see what happens with it. Because the one guy that's doing the big water tankers, he's talking about doing liters of water like upwards to 60 or 70,000 liters in connectable tanks. So this would be a tank that could be connected to another tank, and so such and so forth. So definitely some cool stuff if you're a big animal farmer, want to do the dairy farms or anything like that, and you need that water. Because I only get up to about 250 sheep, 50 cows, and feeding, doing the water for them is a little bit on the ridiculous side. Yeah, Louise, I will say this. Whenever it goes to checking mods, I mean, this is what they always tell guys in the PC. And just because it cleared their test does not mean that it's maybe not playing well with something else. That's always possible. So especially if this map has custom coding in it, which I know it does, even though they may be simple things, still the fact of it being custom and not completely default, it may be conflicting with something else. I mean, that's completely a possibility. So the thing I would say is maybe check the things that you've downloaded in the past off this past update. If you've downloaded like any of the bell spikes or any of that stuff that came out, they updated a couple of those cultivators, which I wouldn't think. The fence mod, this other placeables mod, the little shelter. I'm gonna try pulling all that out, uninstalling it, and see what happens. And I may even try to see if I can reinstall my map. But if I can't, I'm just gonna leave the one that's in there for just fear of losing the save game. So, but I believe at least for right now, I think this is a good place. I got the sheep all taken care of. Got some silage moved over there. Then I'm gonna I think tomorrow, if this will hold out, I may try doing some plowing down there in that cow pen, and see if I can do, because you can do grass, you can do silage, and you can make grass bales for their grass feed. I do actually like doing grass bales for grass feed. I don't know why. It's pretty easy, and it's a little different. So I guess I'll just stop it there. It's a good stopping point for me, and I'll be able to pick that right up tomorrow. And hopefully we won't have any game crashes tomorrow. I mean, this is 2 in one night. It's kind of aggravating, but there's not much you can do about it. So just wanted to, yeah, fire hose. Yeah, that would be, yeah, since you got the hydrant there, that would be the actual legitimate thing to do. Is just hook a hose up to it. But that would off the realism of it. So. All right, so we guys appreciate. If you wanted to see any of that, before I get to that, if you want to see any of those mods, what I was just talking to, that's in episode 4. You can find that in the playlist. It should be one of the recent uploads on the main page as well. So a few things. Twitter guys, you can follow me over at Fulltild, FULLTILLED. We'll scroll that here across the bottom. After you got YouTube, Twitch is coming into play. I have not really done anything on that, but go ahead and follow it if you want to. It's not going to hurt anything. It'll be the same exact content of what's on YouTube. It's just another avenue to kind of connect with gamers. And let's see what else. That's pretty much all the social media I've got right now. I'm not really big enough to jump into Facebook, but I am, at least that is part of my master plan. I just signed up with Gleam, and I've been working on a couple of giveaways for graphics, and as well as working on T-shirt designs. So that may be something in the nearer future, if things do continue to progress, that I actually do some giveaways in regards to T-shirts, or sell those T-shirts as well. And they'll be pretty cool with the logo, greens, blacks, yellows, grays. Try to get in a little assortment of stuff in there, because I love a cool T-shirt that nobody else around me is going to have. But just some ideas of things going forward. So if any of that interests you, feel free to sub to the channel. Keep up with what's going on here on Full Tilt Gaming. Right now we're only dedicated to Farm Sim. Hopefully maybe in the future that will kind of go to other games as well, but for right now this is what it's all meant to be around. So if this is definitely a good place, a good fit for you, please think about doing that, joining up with us. Introduce yourself on chat next time if you feel comfortable to. It's definitely a good group of guys. Anything else that I can think of? I don't really think there is. I will do some testing. While it's just on my mind here, I will do some testing, and I will find out and see if it possibly is one of those other mods. If it is one of those other mods, I'll try to tell you which one it is. I don't make any promises though, because that stuff is not as easy as it was if you were on a PC. It's a little bit harder to do that kind of testing and see if you're getting any kind of problems on a console. So I will do the best I can and try to report my findings back tomorrow night. I will probably be back on this map tonight, but if not, I'll be back on Chillington tomorrow night. I do actually miss doing some stuff on that map. That was a good map. I miss it. So I may go back and do some things on that as well. But thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe. If you got ideas on videos, I don't do a lot of recorded videos, but I'm not opposed to doing a live stream recorded video of a particular either operation or something in Farm Sim on console that you're still unclear of and you would like to get my take on how to do something. I'm totally open to those ideas, so if that's anything that interests you, please feel free to drop me a line on YouTube. My email's on there. It's associated with the channel. You can email me on that, and you can just send me a message through the private message system there on YouTube. So either way is fine by me. But until next time, I'm going to at least get some things cleaned up here and hope to goodness that my game does not crash one more time. And as long as all goes well, I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night to you guys. Good night. Louise, Ryan, Greg. Yeah, man. I will see you tomorrow, man. Good night, and I will see you tomorrow on the stream for FTG Live Series, episode something at somewhere, but I promise you we'll be somewhere. So we'll see you guys. Have a good one.